My name is Shy or Shaye, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I discuss various topics. And today I'm discussing one of my favorites, which is books. I mentioned in previous videos that I like words, I like lyrics, I also write. I haven't published anything, but I do write. I'm a big journaler. And so by proxy, I like books. And today I just have a list of books that I'm calling these books that are jumpstarting my year because we're only in mid-January. So I haven't necessarily gotten through all these books, but these were my designated readings for January. And they're all not novels. Some of them are books I'm using for January or throughout the whole year of 2026. And I called it bookish things because I like to throw in there one or two things that are not necessarily a book, but maybe they are book-like or they help with reading. So let's start with the bookish thing that I threw in this month. So this month, I have my headphones, these noise canceling Bose headphones, which there's a reason why these are included in the bookish things, although one could argue they are music. Why I included them was I follow someone on YouTube called, I believe her handle is Shelby and the Book Club. And she was talking about a process of reading called immersive reading. So to give some context, I'm not a slow reader, but I also don't think I'll be classified a fast reader. Like I can't read, I think I've heard people say, some people on here read like 50 books a month. I can't do that, right? So I probably average on a busy month 2 to 3 books a month. But my goal or my desire for myself is to average more like 4 to 5 a month this year. And she was talking about immersive reading. And immersive reading is essentially when you do a combination of two methods to consume the books simultaneously. So you are actually reading the hard copy book and you are listening to an audio format of it. That's where these guys come in, because these are my favorite headphones. One, because of the color. I told you guys everything in my life has a color theme to it. So this lovely, I believe this would be like a plum color, was what drew me to this. Plus these are really good noise canceling headphones. They're the Bose, I can't remember the name, and I know I should know these things, but you know, I'm a fairly new YouTuber. Guys, give me a minute, I'll get it in order. However, these are really good for isolating the sound when you're reading, because what I personally like is I am a big audiobook listener, especially if the narration is done really well and with someone who has a very pleasing voice to listen to. So having these on, it's almost like you're in a cocoon listening to them, someone read to you, but at the same time, you know, it's comfortable to keep on your ear for long periods, which is typically what would be required to read these books. And so basically I am trying immersive reading, which again is a combination of listening to the book and also reading the book, to see how quickly I can consume these books. Also doing this simultaneously, what I like about the concept is audio helps you get through the narration a lot quicker. But if you're looking at the book, and if you're anything like me who likes to highlight and annotate books, you still have the ability to do that. And why audio also is important for me is typically with nonfiction, which you see in a bit that I am reading quite a few nonfiction this month, just because of where I am mindset wise this month. So when I read nonfiction, I tend to prefer doing it with audiobooks. But being able to do audiobooks and again take notes is a good way to combine the consumption of stuff like that for me. So headphones. Whatever headphones you have. You don't have to go buy the Bose Plum headphones, but whatever headphones you have, I recommend for increasing the consumption. And if you wanted to try the immersive reading, I will say it works for nonfiction for me, but for fiction, because my imagination runs with fiction, I think my preference to consume that is purely audio, because I just want to be immersed and let my brain run. I don't want to have to think of holding a book. That's just me. That's why I think I'm landing with the whole immersive reading thing. Is I believe for fiction, I would just do audiobooks, which is what I've always done in the past anyway. And for nonfiction, because those you tend to be taking active lessons and things that you want to apply in your life, it's good to have the book on hand to be able to write on. So that's that. This next book, I have not finished it. I haven't actually got significantly through it, but I had to mention it because I have said in past videos, right, that one of my goals or my aspirations in life is to write. I haven't done it because I'm not disciplined. That's the truth. It's not because I don't write. I write snippets here and there. I've written short stories here and there, but I haven't actually written a book. And it's one of those things that I admire people who do it. And this book was written by someone that I actually know. And that's why I'm featuring, because I admire people who are able to accomplish something that I still struggle with. And this particular person I went to school with when I was a kid back home in Lagos, Nigeria. We went to boarding school together. We actually shared a bunk together. That's a whole story. But she's written, I believe this is her 4th or 5th book. And I just admire the ability to complete, because I know it's not an easy fit. If you're a writer, you respect just the ability to complete, regardless of what the work is, regardless of your opinions about it. Just the fact that you finished is admirable. So this book is called This Way to the Lines, and I will read the synopsis because this is what sold me on it. She posted it on her socials, and I read the synopsis and I said, "Girl, get me that book." That book speaks to where I am in life. So the synopsis is: Emilia's love life has led her to a literal lion's den. She says that she wants better for herself, but her romantic choices suggest otherwise. After several missteps, compounded by family and other kinds of drama, she ultimately takes a chance at love with the safest choice of suitors. But would this just be a case of jumping from one small fire to an even larger one? From Abuja to Benin City and back to Abuja, follow Emilia on a chaotic adventure where she learns and unlearns what she thinks she deserves. I read that and I said, yeah, I want to find out how Emilia lands and what she learns and what she deserves. Does she get it? So I'm excited to finish it. But the author is Evie M. A.K., which Evie, hey girl, you did good. I'm so proud of you. Like, I believe this is book number 4. I might be wrong, or book number 5. No, this is her 5th book. Girl. So this is on my reading list for January. I haven't gotten through it because you've seen a bit. I've been digging through some more non-fiction stuff that is helping me. So this is on my list, but I just wanted to mention it. Like, This Way to the Lines, I read it as light and entertaining, something to just, get your mind in not a heavy state, but something that will get you maybe thinking again, especially for women, things that we could do better, lessons we could learn. It sounds like this girl's on her way to learning lessons. I would recommend it. So that's This Way to the book. This is my heavy hitter this month. This has taught me a lot of things. And this is not a new book. This has been around for a while. It's called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which everybody knows who Elizabeth is. I don't need to tell you. If you don't know who Elizabeth Gilbert is, what rock do you live under? She been around, But Big Magic has been so impactful to me this month. I have shared in several videos, that all of last year was me stumbling upon creativity and going, ooh, I could do this, ooh, I could do that. But also learning that my creative process and flow is interesting. I used the word chaotic in the past. I'm trying to find better language because I realized that doesn't have a positive connotation. The point is, it's a bit intense. And I'm having to learn ways to manage it. And also, I was processing, well, how do I want to use this? Does this become my whole identity? Does this become a thing that's done in combination to what I already do in my life? Which I'm still working through the nuances of all of that. But what I love about Big Magic is she essentially talks about all of that. How you can discover your creativity if you're someone who's on the path of trying to figure out, are you even creative? Do you even have any abilities? Recommend this book. If you just found it like me and you're like, I don't know where this falls in my life, she talks about it. There is a particular chapter she talks about tricksters versus martyrs. And essentially the notion being certain people take their creativity and, they wear like an armor. Like it becomes this thing like, you've heard some artists say like, I would die for my art. Like I can only live and breathe for my art. Like that's martyr energy. That's like that absolute all or nothing kind of thinking. And which she doesn't ascribe to, she doesn't recommend. While trickster, it's like it becomes one of many tools in your belt where you get to play and you get to kind of navigate life a bit more interesting. And you're like, yeah, I'm a creative, but like I get to use it how I want. I get to decide when I pull the card, how I pull that card. And that's what I'm trying to lean into, if you haven't picked up on that already. I think I give heavy trickster energy. I think I do. But because I don't like to suffer, I like to use things to ease my life, as you're witnessing one of them right now. So I say that to say, if you're just curious about creativity, if you're maybe creatively stuck, if you are a bit confused, if you're not maybe surrounded by other creatives who can teach you, and you're looking for someone to teach you how to get in flow, how to come out of flow, what to do, how to manage your life in a practical way but still be creative, this book does a great job. So Big Magic, I highly recommend. Then this other book is part of my healing journey. I've been, alluding to and said on here that I spent last year both focused on creativity, but also focused on healing myself. I have, I was 42 when I started this. I'm 43 now. Yeah, that's how quickly time flies. I'm 43. But I'm a 43-year-old woman who has gone through what is not, I think, unusual for women in this world. So I am learning to repair a lot of things. One of them is my relationship with love. What I see as love, or what I grew up knowing to be love, which most of us, we watched all the Disney show. I watched the Cinderellas and the Snow Whites and probably took some of that a little too literal. And I am now learning as a full-on woman what I want love to look like for me. And not just romantic love, because that's part of it. But it's more familial love, friendship, loves and friendship, self-love, love of myself. This book, Bell Hooks, first of all, again, another author that you should know. If you don't know, Google, But it's another nonfiction book, but it's essentially, the best way I can describe it is it's a collection of her thoughts, her research, her, deep thinking through what all those different types of loves are, how society frames love for us, and how we kind of have to get to a point where you start to question and reframe it for yourself and heal yourself, because again, no one's coming to teach you or give you some pill, right, to fix yourself. It is just, it's like poetry. Even though all of this I'm describing, it is definitely narrated and written like an actual, nonfiction book, but her writing style is very poetic. So I have enjoyed listening to it and reading and, annotating and flagging. This is such a good book about love. And I want to thank, because this book and Big Magic were both recommended to me by people in my life who have just seen where I am in life, and they were just like, read this, see, this will help you. And I want to thank them, because it really has. It's really given clarity to some things I've stumbled upon, or I've been stumbling against, I should say. So this is a really good book. If you're in that stage of repairing your relationship with love, all different types of love, again, and I know we're on the cusp of Valentine's, so it's probably not a bad idea to read it before you go pair up with the wrong person. Anywho, All About Love by Bell Hooks. I highly recommend this. This was a good read. This next book is my journal. So the last time I did a book video, I said I was looking for my journal for 2026, because my journal for 2025, absolutely loved it. It was my fuzzy tomato book, and I've finished it now. I've completely used up all the pages. And it also made me realize the book that I want for journals going forward, I wanted it to stimulate me, not just something I write on. I wanted it to, affect all my other senses. I wasn't sure what it would be. I wasn't sure if it would be my tactile senses, if it would be visual, or if it would be something else. But I happened to be on the tube, as you do, and I saw a young lady go through, I can't remember her handle, I apologize, girl. But she was basically taking a trip in New York through a bookstore, and she pulled out this journal, which completely stopped me in my tracks. So this is a journal by Danielle McKinney, and I believe her mother, I think it's her mother, Barbara McKinney, has written prompts in there to help you. Danielle McKinney is a visual artist that I absolutely admire. Her work, like this on the cover, is I'll try to bring close. That's one of her works. And every page in here includes her work. Like, can you see how beautiful that is? And it's just, the words are well written. Her and her mother's words, like, you know, the prompts they give you to help you think through. But it is basically pages of, like it says on here, artwork and prompts. And it is just, like, if you're like me who always wanted to buy one of her art prints or art pieces, but you just couldn't afford it, or, you know, you're working your way up to it, this is a perfect in between. Like, this is one of the pieces that I actually saw first of her work that made me want to buy her piece. And to think that I even have what I would deem some sort of a print of it. And between me and you, when I am done with this, my intention for every single one of these pages with her prints, like, hey, come on guys, I could spend all day just showing you this stuff. It's freaking beautiful, right? A blank page next to a beautiful piece. How could you not be inspired to journal? But my plan, my little cheap self, is to cut out these pages and frame them in like little pieces and maybe make a wall out of it, because why not? I paid for the book, right? It comes with the book. And it's just beautiful. It's just like, gosh, she's so good. She's so good. I hope you guys can see that. She's so good. So this is my journal for 2026, and you probably saw one or two pages. I've already started playing in there. But I am so happy to have this. It is quite hefty. It's a book. It's almost like the heft of a small coffee table book. But I'm happy about this. This was a good find. This is a very good find. Then the last one, which is not the least, is a novel by my favorite. She's like my top 5 authors, honestly. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's a Nigerian author. Again, another author that if you don't know, Google her. Where have you been? You know, one of her books, Americana. I can't genuinely tell you how many times I have read that book. Too many to count. Because I believe when I first read it, I really thought, oh my God, this woman has somehow seen my life and written a fictional version of it. And who is she? And how do I get in touch with her? Like, loved Americana. And then went down a rabbit hole of all her other books. But she had gone, I forget how many years it's been since Chimamanda published an actual novel. I know she's published like short stories here and there, but it's been a while. So last year she published this Dream Count. And I should pause for a minute and say, Chimamanda right now is going through a very difficult personal matter. She just lost her son in a very tragic way. And I mean, it goes without saying, my heart, prayers, thoughts goes out to her and her family. So just wanted to mention that. They want to be disregardful of that. But aside from that, I was already enjoying this book. And I can tell you, like, I've listened to this book on audio. I have read it. And I have consumed this book at least 3 times. Because that's how much I was excited when I heard she was publishing something. And I had to get my hands on it. And this book is about 4 women who are of African descent. They live, I would say they live all over the world. Some of them live in Nigeria, some of them live within the US. But the general theme is they all have relationships with each other. And they each all have personal struggles that she shares, both about relationships, romantic relationships, and then just about their identity, how they carry themselves, how they move through life, struggles they've had, about just what, again, it's not a particularly dramatic story. There is one very, very sensitive topic and issue in there, which is regarding violence against women. So if that's something you're not too keen on reading about, maybe you should pass on this. It's not the whole story, but there's a woman who gets violated in here, and it is rather sensitive. And I think she handled it very well. And I believe she was doing it as a spin-off of an actual real life event. So if it's just not a topic you like, don't pick this up. But regardless of that, what I like is they all seem like regular women in different stages and societal status of, economic status of life. And they're going through life trying to figure out love, trying to figure out relationship, trying to figure out themselves, trying to figure out finances, trying to figure out their definition of success. This book has received some criticisms because I think some people felt like the women were too hyper focused on their pursuit of love. Arguable, right? But I also like to think we're not a monolith, right? Like, let's be honest, there are women who desire love. There are women who don't see it as their first desire in life. And it's okay. It's okay to depict like different versions of women. I don't see anything wrong with that. What I most enjoyed about this book is there is a character in there called Omelogo. I think I'm saying her name correctly. Love her. And not that Chimamanda would ever watch this, but if you do, can you do a spin-off of Omelogo, please? Because the audaciousness of that character, the manner in which that character was depicted, both with strength and self-confidence, but even showing vulnerability, because there's a period in there where she doubts herself and she attempts something that's so out of character for her and quickly realizes it didn't work and then goes back to being herself. But Omelogo is such a complex, intriguing, interesting character. Like, I keep reading her sections over and over again. I really, goes without saying, I enjoyed this book. Chimamanda can do no wrong in my opinion. I'm just biased, that's just me. But if you were looking for a nice, this is fiction, fictional read that's pretty hefty, and again, it's centered around women and just women going through life and existing and trying to figure it out, I recommend Drink Count. I really enjoyed it. So that's my January bookish things. I hope it helps. I hope it gives you something to pick up on. And even if you don't read this, hopefully you just pick up something and read this month. And yeah, that's it. And we'll see what the next one brings. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.